Hello, and thanks so much for joining me today. I'm Leslie Gaudette. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a self care strategist for female entrepreneurs in the health and wellness space. I specialize in systems that transform daily stress and constant overwhelm into clarity and calm, while also creating space for personal fulfillment. Today, we're going to be focusing on self care and rest when you're not feeling well. Something that I can really attest to today because I actually am not feeling at my best. I'm starting to feel a lot better because I took necessary steps to heal. But it's really crucial that we do recognize that taking care of ourselves when we're sick is a vital part of maintaining our overall well being and preventing burnout. Many of us tend to push through, right? I get it. We push through our sickness because we've got deadlines to make. We think that resting is going to affect our productivity, that it's going to affect our deadlines, and we're going to lose momentum. We might have to start over. And I get it. I've been there, so I understand exactly what you're thinking and if you're in this state of mind and how you felt because I've been there before. However, the opposite really is true. Proper rest and self care really can actually speed up the process, the recovery process, and help you maintain not only your long term health goals, but also your productivity and the things that you do so you do them well. So let's dive in and explore why self care and rest they go together, like they go hand in hand, and why they're so important when you're not feeling well. And I'm going to share some practical tips on how to make the most of your recovery time if you are in that state of mind right now, that state of being. So, taking care of yourself is crucial, right? Especially when you're sick. Prioritizing your self care, it helps your body recover more quickly and effectively, which in turn can prevent burnout. We've been talking a lot in this series over the last few weeks. This is now week 4 about professional burnout. This really is important that you pay attention today. I realized that I needed to put this topic into the 24-week series because there are times I know, even myself, I have to remind myself, if I'm not feeling well, I need to give myself that time to rest and heal. Because when we don't allow ourselves to rest and heal, we increase the risk of prolonging our illness, which of course will extend our downtime. So I know I don't have to tell you this, but something is telling me that if telling me that if you're that person who's watching right now and you're not feeling well, you need to hear this. Because when you're not feeling good, your body needs extra attention and care. It's important that you prioritize it. Meaning rest um, becoming at the forefront of all of your thinking. Like, how do I get better? How do I prioritize rest so that I get better? It's essential that you do this because it will allow your immune system to fight off your illness more efficiently. For example, as I said, I'm not feeling well myself. In fact, I caught a very nasty cold from my husband, which has been incredibly uncomfortable and has, for a lack of a better way of saying it, it has pissed me off because it almost stopped my momentum of things that I have on the go. And making me feel irritated and resentful for it that I had to take that downtime. But there's nothing I can do about it because I caught a cold, right? And I know that I can't control that. I know that the only way for me to get better is to make sure that I have adequate sleep, that I hydrate my body well, that I make sure that I'm eating enough so that I help my body in my recovery process. And it's what I'm seeing, especially if you are watching this video today and you're not allowing yourself that ample time because you're pushing yourself to move through deadlines, to get things done because you have specific deadlines in place. You've got projects on the go. If you're not giving yourself that time to recover, you're just basically not taking care of you. So without that proper rest, our bodies cannot repair and rejuvenate the way we hope, which will lead to extended periods of being sick, of staying sick, and of course, increase our stress levels. So let me share a personal example. As I said, right now I'm battling a very nasty cold. Despite having things to do and deadlines to meet, I know that prioritizing my rest is essential for me to bounce back whole. I know that pushing through my sickness would only worsen the situation and delay my recovery. And by me allowing myself that rest time, because I've been doing that, I'm giving my body the chance to heal properly, which means I'll be able to get back to my usual routine more quickly and effectively. But one of the things I want to point out too, this is why it's so important to be clear on what you're doing and having those processes in place, those automated things in place, or those processes in place, or things created already, so that you don't have to all of a sudden pick up like, oh, I have to create this today and I feel terrible. And, trying to weigh one against the other, like what's more important? Well, rest, obviously, I think, because so you can do the best that you can. But it can be really, really hard to actually choose. I know a lot of women I've talked to who have actually pushed themselves through. And if you're watching this today, you know that I'm talking to you directly, because you've told me that you've pushed yourself through even though you weren't feeling well. Now, we all get sick from time to time, but as an example, in my past, I would get sick, I'd still work, it took a toll on my health, and my healing was slower. So I used to be that person who would go into work sick, and really that wasn't helping anything at all. It wasn't really helping other people, because it was exposing them to possibly catching what I had, whether it was the cold or the flu. I didn't know at the time, some of the times. And my productivity level wasn't great, because I didn't really have the energy I needed. But one of the things I know that was keeping me doing that was I felt guilty for taking time off. I felt like I had to be there. And ignoring my body's signals, needing for the need for rest, and continuing to push through, that led to prolonged recovery time, significantly reducing my productivity. It was a hard lesson. It's not that I didn't, it wasn't a lesson that wasn't um, something that I had to learn more than once. But um, when I did learn the lesson, it reinforced the importance of listening to my body and taking those breaks when I need them. And this is why I'm so passionate about self-care, and why I go live weekly to talk to you about self-care, because I really feel like we need to start prioritizing ourselves more. We need to really do that. And I know a lot of people think that it's selfish, but it truly is not a selfish act. It's really selfish for you not to prioritize yourself, because then you're not showing up as the best version of yourself. You're not giving the best that you can if you're not prioritizing taking care of you first. So taking breaks and focusing on self-care when you're sick isn't really just about that physical recovery. It also helps you maintain your mental and your emotional well-being. And when you allow yourself that time to rest and recover, you are less likely to experience emotional exhaustion and stress that accompanies prolonged illness. So let's talk about practical self-care tips. So when you're taking care of yourself, it can involve several key practices that can help you speed up your recovery when you're not feeling well, and maintain that your overall well-being. So first off is, I'm sure you've heard this before. Your doctor tells you this all the time as well. Probably family members, friends will tell you to stay hydrated, because it's one of the most important things you can do when you're not feeling well. So drinking plenty of fluids like water, herbal tea, clear broths, that's going to keep your body hydrated, which is really essential for your immune system to function properly. It also helps you to thin out the mucus and alleviate congestion, making it so much easier for your body to really fight off the illness. Rest, again, it's important to keep up with daily activities. I get it, it's important, but it's also equally crucial that you take breaks and you focus on resting throughout your day, especially when you're not feeling good. If you are, maybe you're recovering, but you're still not at your 100%, you still need to incorporate those breaks in, because the rest that you allow your body is really going to help your body to focus on healing, rather than expending all this energy on all the other things that you have going on. So make sure that you listen to your body and take those short naps if you need to, and those breaks as needed, because it's really important. You want to heal, you have to allow your body that time to do it. Sleep too, like sleep is important. I've talked about sleep multiple times. I've mentioned on here that I did a sleep study of myself for a year. It was all around sleep positioning, and finding out like how your sleep can be interrupted just based on how your body is positioned. So that was uh, it was a fun study for me to do for a whole year. And I talked about it in one of my earlier episodes in January. So definitely go back and check it out. And if you want that link, just message me directly and I'll send it to you. But sleep is really different from resting. So we think like rest and sleep is the same thing, but it's not. Of course, like I said, rest is taking those breaks, right? Taking time to actually relax. Sleep is different because it is when your body goes into that repair mode and where it's strengthening your immune system and helping to fight off infections. I've heard it said to aim for at least 7 to 9 hours of sleep each night. But, I also believe, based on my own experience, that 7 to 9 hours, I don't know if is necessarily the be all end all of sleep schedules for everybody. Because my husband, as an example, he sleeps 6 hours and he gets a solid 6 hours sleep. He's good. I, on the other hand, I need about 7 hours. And I just really feel like sleep really is an individual thing based on, I also believe, on your age. It could be like, children, young adults, young professionals, to those of us in our golden years. Yes, I guess I could say I'm in the golden years because I'm in my early 60s. But you can say when you are in different periods of your life, you're going to notice how your sleep patterns are going to change. So it's really important, I think, to notice that, to acknowledge that, to figure out like what your sleep is needed, and making sure that on top of that, that you maintain a regular sleep schedule even when you're sick, going to bed at the same time, trying to get up at the same time, and trying to keep those patterns the same. But also, if you're sick, getting that additional rest that you need. The next one is stress reduction, because I believe reducing stress really is important when you're not feeling well. Like stress really can weaken your immune system. It can prolong your illness. So when you engage in activities that are like, you have to be creative, you're working, you're like trying to be really super productive, that's going to really be stressful for you when you're not feeling well. So you want to be really engaging in things that help you to relax and reduce your stress, like mindfulness practices, like light reading, listening to soothing music, maybe closing your eyes and listening to the sounds around you. Even simple practices like deep breathing or gentle stretching can make a significant difference in how you feel. I also think that when you are not feeling well, reach out to the people that you've got scheduled meetings for, because there's no point in you showing up to a meeting if you're not at your best. And I'm sure most people are understanding, especially if you're not well. It's best for you to really to conserve your energy so that you can heal, and then you can reschedule that for another day and show up as your best self. Now let's talk about nutrition, because eating well, I think, is also vital for our recovery. So focusing on light, nutritious meals that are easy to digest, especially when you don't feel good, like soup, some fruit, veggies, if you can handle the solid foods. Making sure that you get the essential vitamins and minerals that your body needs to fight off the illness is important. Also avoid heavy, greasy foods that can be hard on your digestive system. I don't know if you've ever eaten anything when you're not feeling good, and then you're like, oh, I feel even worse. So it's just something to think about. So when you prioritize your self-care, especially when you're sick, I mean, I think you should prioritize self-care all the time. You're going to be able to support your body's natural healing processes and to prevent further complications down the road. Remember, taking care of yourself is not just about addressing the symptoms, okay? It's also about maintaining your overall health and your well-being. So looking at the symptoms is fine. Addressing the symptoms is fine, but you want to get to a place where you're actually prioritizing self-care so that it's a daily thing. It's a part of your routine, taking care of you. So now I'd love to hear from you. Taking a moment to reflect on your own self-care practices can provide you with valuable information, helping you make positive changes so you prioritize your self-care, thereby prioritizing your health and well-being. I have some questions for you that I will be sure to share in the comments once the video ends. So there's just a couple of questions. I promise nothing too hard, but I really feel like reflecting is a really good way to understand yourself better and know like what type of person you are and if you're prioritizing yourself. So what self-care practices do you find most helpful when you're feeling unwell? Have you noticed any patterns in how you respond to illness? Do you take time to rest and recover, or do you tend to push through despite feeling terrible? And how do you balance your responsibilities with the need to take care of yourself when you're sick? I'd love to hear your experiences in the comments below. So I'd love to know what works for you, how you prioritize your well-being, and also you by sharing your thoughts, things that have worked for you, you're going to be helping somebody else that might need to hear something different to help them to engage in self-care in a way that supports them. So before we wrap up today, I really want to emphasize the importance of prioritizing your health and well-being, because I really feel that taking necessary breaks and allowing yourself to rest when you're sick is so important. It's crucial, really, for recovery and preventing burnout. Remember, your body needs time to heal, right? And pushing through your illness can just lead to more severe health issues down the line. So, first, I want to encourage you to listen to your body and take the necessary breaks when you're feeling unwell. Prioritizing your rest and self care is not only beneficial for your physical health, but also for your mental and your emotional well being. Second, I want to remind you about my 21 days of journal prompts. So maybe you're finding it difficult to incorporate daily self care into your routine. And this could be the daily reminder to help you to not only add a system to your routine that you might have maybe something in there, but something additional that can support you to create that healthy habit that becomes a lifestyle, because I feel that it is a lifestyle choice. The prompts are designed to help you relax, to reflect, and really to rejuvenate, providing you with a structured way to integrate self care into your daily life. So I'll make sure also to link the offer in the comments, or the link to the free. It's free, so you know it's a free journal, 21 days of journal prompts. So I'll link that in the comments so you can take advantage of it and start making lifestyle choices that support you for a better quality of life. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you found what I've shared helpful, and that you're inspired to take better care of yourself, especially when you're not feeling well. Your health is your most valuable asset, so make sure to give it the attention it deserves.